What's going on, guys? This is Frank Hatzis, and you're in Rope Dart School.
All right, what's going on, Dartists? We are live. This time we are speaking to a Dartist from Australia, and I'm going to read off his little intro as well. This is the creator of Merchant Tech style rope dart play. This man also is the creator of the Crowd Pleaser, Crowd Teaser, the recent Solar Flare, all of which I've been calling Kangaroo Tech. He has traveled across the globe now, coming to America to learn, to teach, and to meet dartists on the global scale twice. He did that twice now. He taught at Dart Arts this past year and, great news, will be returning in 2025 to continue teaching the amazing techniques, movement skills, everything he has to offer and share with the community. And you've been watching his tutorials because I've been seeing everybody doing his techniques. This dartist is from New South Wales, Australia, the one, the only Aaron Stanger.
Thank you, man. Great to be here.
Welcome, welcome. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's a nice Saturday morning. I got the rest of the day ahead of me, so we'll start off with something strong and go out and do some rope dart.
That is a really great way to start the morning, isn't it? Or start the day as it
Yep.
is. And we do want to point out to everybody watching, yes, we are wearing the same t-shirts. That was not intentional. However, I did bet my wife Sarah. I was like, I have a feeling he's gonna wear that shirt, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear it too, just in case, and see what happens. And this is what happened. So, yeah, we're
It's a
gonna
good
start at.
shirt.
Say it again.
It's a good shirt.
It's a good shirt for sure. And great to rope dart in, which brings me to the first question I like to ask everybody is, what got you, Aaron, into rope darting?
Well, I'd have to say the thing that got me into rope dart was a friend who saw that I was playing with a set of poi and said I'd look much better with a rope dart in my hand.
They were certainly correct about that.
Yep,
And when
100%.
when was this?
This was around August 2018. They gave me a phone call, said, "Hey, you want to come out and do some flow with me?" I said, "Sure, we'll go pick you up. We'll go to some wetlands or a park." And I started playing with my poi, and he was playing with a rope dart, trying to teach himself kicks. And I was like, "What are you playing with there, sport?" And he's going, "It's a rope dart. You should try it. It's much better than poi." And I did, and honestly, I don't think I've picked up any other prop since.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I was learning three section staff and chain whip before I picked up the rope dart. And once I picked up the rope dart, I barely touched those weapons again. So it's pretty much just rope dart all the time.
It is.
Yeah. So you said 2018, so that's about 7 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming up on 7 years now.
That's nice. You get past that 5 year mark, and then you realize that you're going to be in it for the long haul, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, you've come to America twice now. We've had the honor and privilege of hosting you at Dart House, but you've also traveled a little bit. You want to tell us a little bit about your travels in America, maybe things that you found so, Americans are kind of weird and crazy. So all the more so when you're from far away, I'm sure. So maybe you have some interesting things to let us know, some rope dart adventures.
Yeah. Well, my first experience of America was landing in New York and coming straight to Dart House. I spent 2 weeks just nerding out on rope dart with you, and then I made my way over to the West Coast. I was going to attend Fire Drums Festival in 23, which I did go to, and we were meant to go, but certain circumstances came up which made it so you couldn't travel that year. And but you were good enough to help me find some people in California to hook me up and get me to the event. I ended up traveling to Fire Drums with Adam Bush and Simon Wong. So the three of us drove up together to Fire Drums.
Oh, wow. That's a heck of a car, let me tell you.
It was a great car ride. those two guys are absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see them again. I'm hoping I get to run into them again this year. So yeah, I went to Fire Drums, and that was my first festival in America that I'd went to, first big fire spinning festival that I'd gone to as well. And yeah, made a bunch of good friends there, and those people are the people that I keep coming back to see every year now. I've got people all over America that I'm friends with, all thanks to rope dart.
Absolutely. Now, you're also involved in the Australian side of festivals as well, correct?
Not as much as I'd like to be. I'm involved in my local area. We do a monthly thing called Fire and Flow, where we teach workshops and do everything that we'd like to do with our fire props. Um, I haven't traveled as much for festivals in Australia as I'd like to.
Gotcha. Because I guess what I was curious about was how they're similar or different from American festivals, or if it's really this universal language where it doesn't matter where you go, it's kind of the same energetically.
It definitely is that universal language. The fire and flow people that I know in Australia feel just as much as family as all my fire and flow people in America. I can go from one place to the next, and as long as I can pick up a prop and spin with someone, that's the actual language itself. We don't even need to speak the same language.
That's true. I found that I taught in Cambodia a few years ago, and because it really attracted, this festival attracted from all over the world, there were some folks there that didn't really speak English that well, and I certainly didn't speak their language, but I could still teach them rope dart. It really, it didn't matter. Movement is
Yeah,
movement. So very
that's
cool.
exactly right.
Well, you also went to Burning Man, right?
Yeah, that was last year. So 23, I only did the one festival, spent only a month in America, but got absolutely pilled for it and came running back the next year. And so last year I came back for Burning Man and for Dart Arts. So,
All
and
right.
they're like almost 8 weeks apart. So I was like, well, it looks like I'm gonna have to spend 2 months in America. Whoops.
Very cool. Well, starting with Burning Man, what did you think of that experience?
That was life-changing. It was absolutely amazing. I don't think like a short sentence can justify everything that you experience at Burning Man, and you can't experience everything at Burning Man in one go. So like it's drawn me to come back.
For sure. Well, now you're planning on going again this year, is that correct?
Yep, so I'm filling up my schedule a little bit more this year. I'll be doing Burning Man at the end of August. Rolling out of that, I'll be heading up to Portland to do Kindle Northwest. I've applied to do workshop teaching there. Even if I don't get it, I'm still prepared to run some renegade classes up the back if people want to learn some stuff. From Portland, I'm going to be heading down to the SoCal area, Southern California. There's a lovely dartist down there by the name of Wandering Nim who's having her birthday in September. So I'm going to go down and spin some dart for their birthday.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
After that, I hope to hit up Denver again. Last year, when I traveled between California and New York, I made a stop in at Denver and got to actually spend a weekend hanging out with Mark Fox.
The legend.
Yep. So if I can stop out his way again on the way over to Dart Arts, I'll definitely do that. And then yeah, finishing up again in New York for Dart Arts.
Very nice. Now, last year at Dart Arts, you taught what you're calling merchant tech. I have that correct. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then we added some prodigal shot, not we, you added some prodigal shots to that system you have going.
Yep.
How did you come up with that? Because I'm gonna let you talk for a while. I what I like is the entrance you do, the way you do your sunrises, the way you enter your sunrise. You don't step, you just throw the dart a certain way and go right into your sunrise. It's just such an awesome, innovative way to begin the tech. So, starting from there, like how did, Merchant Tech, the Prodigal Cake, how did this all come about? What's the story?
Um, I guess I could start by saying my style of rope dart exploration is very much linked to my ADHD. I am constantly chasing a new feeling, a new sensation with my rope dart. So, and that sensation tends to be either how long can I leave something until I must do the next move, or what's the shortest instance I can create between two moves. So, doing things like that allows me to stretch a move out so long that I'm about to drop the move, about to drop the dart, sorry, but instead I catch it and it's forcing me to move in a certain way afterwards. It's almost like almost falling over and catching yourself. So coming back to the merchant tech, I was doing a lot of work with saddle hops and leg weaves and all kinds of stuff like that. A lot of going into the saddle and passing the dart behind your back and doing a lot of work in your dark zone. So that led to passing from one leg to another, being able to change an empty knot from one leg to the other leg seamlessly. So, your empty knots where you're holding a bite of your rope connected to your leash around a part of your body, you can let go of the bite and the leash comes free. I want to be able to change that knot seamlessly from one part of the body to the next. So there was a lot of exploration of how do I hold a certain part of the rope and throw the rest of it to where I want it to go. Um, and then it was a case of how much can I stack together? Because the merchant tech is an anchor leg wrap and a lead leg wrap. So I've gone from wrapping one leg to do I have enough rope left to wrap both legs? And that's kind of like the path I go on when I start looking for new moves.
Very sweet. And you've also put out some tutorials on the crowd pleasers, the crowd teasers that everybody's flipping out about because it's so cool looking. And you kept that a secret, you son of a bee. You didn't let anybody know. And then we're at Dart Arts. I mean, I don't want to tell the story, but I watched it
Go
happen.
for it.
Yeah, okay. So we're at Dart Arts. It was getting dark, so they decided to do if you're gonna use like a day prop, like a silk dart, cobra dart for your act, because it was getting dark. Aaron and Wilcat ended up using the RDA UV silk darts or cobra darts, whatever it was. It was the UV version, and Aaron starts busting out, doing his thing. Great musicality, great choreo, and then he just hits this thing. If you know what it is, the crowd pleaser. He hits this, and the crowd goes wild. The video's out there; you can see it. Everybody screams and cheers because it was just so nuts. We never saw that before, and I'm like, son of a gun! I've never seen. He was been at my house. What is he doing? He did not. It was so good. So, and then after that, you came out with the crowd teaser, which was just as mind blowing. So, talk us through the pleaser and the crowd teaser.
Okay, so the crowd pleaser was the first one I came up with. The name brought itself about because of, like you said, so many people were just when they saw it, I'm like, yeah, that move's a crowd pleaser. I guess that's what it's called. The move started from a recovery technique. Like if my dart has been shot all the way out there, what can I do when I bring it back round to make it look cool? And yeah, one of the things I was doing was letting it come back up and wrap around my neck so you could do your neck wraps and neck spins. But then that just turned into what if it wraps my neck and I keep letting myself turn? So, and that slowly created this feeling of I can swing my arms around. And honestly, it's a sensory kind of move. It feels good to do. Like when you do it right, it's just like this amazing stretch of your body, and you come out of it with tingles on your skin. Um, and that's another thing I use to let me know I'm onto the right moves. My rope darting style is very much based around what makes me feel good.
That's a great thing to say. My rope dart style is based around things that make me feel good. I hope everybody that's listening, if you can, what does Bob Proctor say? If you could put that in a needle and stick it in your ass, do it because that's some rope dart wisdom right there. That's beautiful. You're also known for saying, "I'd rather be rope darting," which is a great thing to say. Now, and just so
Yep.
we get the quote right, is it "I would rather be rope darting" or is it "I'd rather be rope darting"?
It's I apostrophe D, so I'd rather be rope darting.
That that's exactly how I said it in my dreams. So I'm glad that that's the way that you say it too. So that's
I'm
great.
glad I'm in your dreams.
Yeah. So, getting into something a little bit more personal, if that's okay. But, I want to bring this up so that rope dartists out there, and really anybody listening, but rope dartists out there understand the resilience, the strength, the mental discipline, the overall emotion behind what we're going to talk about next. So back in, I want to say 2023,
Yep.
in
Just after I
2023,
got back from America.
right? So Aaron had just completed his journey in America, adventuring all around, spreading his rope dart magic. He goes back to Australia, gets back into life and whatnot, starts working again, and at work, frankly, just had a terrible accident that compromised is it your lead thumb or your anchor thumb?
My anchor thumb.
Your anchor thumb, which for you being a lefty is your right hand.
That's
So
correct. Yep.
your right thumb. So I actually just because of I thought it was important for us to talk about this, so I did clear it with Aaron and make sure that it wasn't too personal. I'm not, I wouldn't just dig so deep into somebody like this, but I think that the story Aaron is about to share is mind-blowingly positive if you can find it there. And I'm sure it is hard for Aaron to find that, but I actually see something really wonderful and unique in this story. So from here, I'm going to about resilience and the human spirit. And here I'm going to shut up and let Aaron take it over.
Thank you. And I'll try to keep the language as tame as possible so we don't gross too many people out. But I work in abseiling and construction. Part of what I do is stabilizing landslips. That involves drilling big metal bars into the ground and then, wiring them all together and basically locking up the land. I was loading one of the bars into a drill. The drill hangs off the end of an excavator. This drill weighs about a ton, and the bar itself weighs about 45 pounds. I've loaded the bar into the drill, and there was just a operator error on the plan operator. They started up the drill, and the rotation of the bar grabbed onto the gloves I was wearing and amputated my thumb. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I can honestly say that within the first couple of minutes of it happening, one of the first things that went through my head is I hope I can still rope dart because rope dart's extremely important to me. It's one of the things that keeps me here. So, um, yeah, I was panicked. I spent the next 3 months having a replant of my thumb attach. So like it had to reattach itself and do all the healing and everything. So there was no rope darting for about 2 months. And that was absolutely torture. I tried different things. I thought I can't use my right hand. I can only use my left hand. Let's go to some single one-handed props. I tried playing with a levy wand for a while. That just didn't scratch the itch I needed. I tried playing with a hula hoop for a bit, but it's just kind of too awkward with one arm up against your chest trying to do hoop stuff. Um, but yeah, after I got through that initial period, I was able to get back into rope darting. It was tough. I had to adjust to not being able to pinch with my anchor hand. And you don't realize how much you do that. So I don't have any rope darts close to me at the moment, unfortunately. But now with my current injury, my new style means I tether through my fingers instead of through my hand.
Oh, wow.
Just
Okay.
in case anyone wants to see the difference in my hands, that's
Wow.
that's what I'm dealing with. So yeah, it's fully fused. There's no movement in there at all, but it hasn't stopped me. In fact, I think it's made me stronger. It's made me more determined to overcome any little problem I've got with rope darting. As an example, I developed a move right before coming to America in 2023, which Brinicus, Wandering Nim, helped me name that move. She called it the twofold spear. I think it was her. Maybe it wasn't. I might be misspeaking. If it wasn't her, I'm sorry to whoever it was, but Bryn, you're getting the credit for that. We called it twofold spear, and the thing about it was a anchor thumb heavy move. So every time the dart wrapped around you, you would hook it up on your anchor thumb and send the dart back around another way, and you would end up with three different loops pinned on that one thumb before letting it all go and having it all release. And that move heavily relied on the anchor thumb. I've had to redevelop that move myself so I can do it with just my index finger. It's a lot more tougher, but it's getting there.
For sure. And, just staying on the subject for a moment, you've had quite a number of surgeries on your thumb, right?
10.
10. Do you hear that?
10.
10.
Yep. From removing metal to adding metal back in to taking care of infections from like osteomyelitis, which is bone infection. So it was just one problem after another. And in 10 months, I had 10 surgeries.
Daughters, do you hear this? Honestly, sometimes we complain or whatnot, and it gets frustrating, and this, that, and the other thing. Can you imagine that you you have this thing that you love, and you said before you don't realize how much you use your anchor thumb, but you know what? I do. I know exactly how you use it a lot, and that's the answer.
Yep.
Use it a metric F ton a lot. I Amazing. And just with regard to the resiliency, it's like, guys, these great tutorials that Aaron has been coming out with, that was after this accident. These are all recent. This accident, all these surgeries are in the past, and he's still dealing with, everything that comes along with this accident that happened, and he's still out there putting out amazing rope dart knowledge, sharing his love, his magic. I mean, just you're an example, man. Bottom line, it's what an example to follow. Even just taking the rope dart out of it, just as a human being going after what they want in life. I hope everybody that watches this again, put it in a needle and stick it in your ass and hit the plunger. You know. But well, I know you're coming back again to America this year. When it comes to Kindle Northwest, what you spoke about, that for some who know, some who don't know, used to be called Pack Fire, Pacific Fire Gathering. And I'm saying that because I'm pretty sure it takes place at the same venue so Kindle takes place at the same venue that Pack Fire did. And if it does, for me, it's the most beautiful place I've ever been to on planet Earth. So I hope when you see it, you just might feel the same way, you know?
Oh, hopefully, yeah. I've looked at the photos of where they're hosting it. It's like right down on the ocean, like on the beach. They've got the woodlands up behind it, and it all looks so peaceful, and I can't wait to go there. It'll be a stark change going from Burning Man to 4 days after that going to Kindle. So being in the desert to being right next to the ocean, it's going to be a massive juxtaposition, but it'll probably be a nice, refreshing change after a week or two in the desert.
I'm sure it will be. When every time when we leave Burning Man, Sarah and I are like, we just need water. We just want to be near water somewhere. So, Lake Tahoe is great after the burn. I don't know if in your travels, if you had an opportunity to check out Lake Tahoe.
I've seen it. I haven't actually stopped at it.
Gotcha. The whole area is really cool. We rented this big house one year for decompression after the burn. And yeah, I loved Lake Tahoe. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'll try and check it out this year.
For sure. Now, coming to Dart Arts this year, you have some new tech that you're going to be teaching, which I don't think you taught this past year. Do you want to get into that a little bit?
Well, the tech I was planning on teaching at dartists this year was just doing a deep dive with people into the crowd pleaser and the crowd teaser. And something I've been working on with the same kind of lines. It's in the same wheelhouse of that move. I'm trying to come up with, well, I've got a new move. I'm just trying to decide on what I want to call it. I'm thinking I'm going to call it crowd controller because it's all off the same rotations.
Gotcha.
So I might add that one into it as well.
Is the crowd controller horizontal by any chance or no?
No.
Okay. I feel like that would be like a crowd controlling, but I'm very
Well,
eager to
it
see
could
what
be. We could see what happens.
well, I'm sure you'll probably come up with something even better than that. So, whatever it turns out being, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what comes of it.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to festivals in Australia, is it that there aren't that many that you don't go, or there's a lot of them, but they're just not near you and you don't really travel for them?
I would say there's not as many as you guys have in America, but it's also a lack of effort on my behalf. I could possibly put in more effort to find all these festivals and everything, but I've been a little bit low key over the last few years, just dealing with the hand and everything like that. So but from what I've seen and from what my friends show me from their videos and everything else I see, Australian festivals are, well, the fire spitting festivals and the flow festivals are very much like your fire drums and things like that that you've got in America. Um, yeah, the only difference in Australia is like there's only like 28 million people in the entire country, and we're extremely spread out. So getting the festivals and getting everyone together in one spot, I think is a little bit more demanding. Um, but that being said, like I could also admittedly put in more effort in chasing these things down.
Okay.
I seem to put in more effort in coming to America and doing it.
The only reason I'm asking is because when you come here, you teach me personally, you teach me a whole lot of stuff. You go to these other, festivals, dart arts, fire drums, things like that. You teach more of, everything that is you with a rope dart to all of these other dartists that I would think that also having a strong home base would be, good. You have a lot to offer anybody that wants to learn rope dart. So I would think, having a strong presence in your own country's festival scene would be good.
I definitely need to.
Okay, well, maybe this is the kick in the butt to make things like that happen.
I think it will be definitely. I'm gonna focus on completing my journey back to America for this year. I'm putting a lot of my money towards that. Um, Next year, I can tell right now I won't be able to make it back to America in 26. I'm going to be taking a year off traveling that year. Um, that being said, I might still do some local traveling around Australia and find some of these festivals. Because we do have a couple of festivals that are like considered sister festivals to Burning Man. Um,
Oh, like
there,
regional burns?
yeah. There's one called Burning Seed, and there's another one, I think it's called Blazing Swan. I'll have to double check on that, but they are both like smaller versions of Burning Man where you might get up to say 5 or 10,000 people there.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. I think Burning Man gets up to about 80,000, something like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
80 to 100,000. So
nice.
it's a much bigger thing. Like nothing compares to Burning Man like Burning Man. That's why when I talk about Australian festivals and things like that, I tend to relate them more to things like fire drums and stuff like that.
Gotcha. It's almost like an expanded version of fire drums. A lot of these
Yeah.
things. Yeah, that's
Yep.
pretty cool. Very good. So, moving for the future, looking towards the future, what are your goals with the rope dart? What are you trying to do?
That's a really good question. Um, Never get bored. I just want I hope that I can keep doing rope dart every day and never get bored with it. Um, I want to be constantly exploring, constantly finding new things. It's not about putting labels on things either. It's just about like where do these paths end? Because I don't feel like they do. I feel like all the paths you can take with rope dart, especially with the body motion and everything, it's all circular. Whatever moves you can do can link into other moves, can link into other moves, can link back to where you came from. And I think that's what I find the most interesting about rope dart is how many different combinations of moves are there and how many moves have not been found? And when we find those moves, how many more combinations can we make? It's a never-ending puzzle for me. So in terms of rope dart, for me for the future, I just want to keep exploring, keep learning, and then keep traveling and teaching.
Okay, so teaching would be probably more on the head of what I was trying to get at.
Right.
Sometimes with rope dart, it's like I guess for me, I look at rope dart as having two sides, well, many sides. But there's the one side that is for me, that personal self-expression, just like you get understand it. I love to rope dart. So there is that side of it. I still want to teach and get better on all those things, but there's also things I want to do outside of myself with the rope dart or for the rope dart or for the rope dart community. I don't know if you have anything going there, any big projects, or maybe you do and you can't talk about them. I'm not sure, but going minding, I see rope dart as it's continually growing, only because I've watched it now for 20 years. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. I spoke to somebody yesterday. I'm not going to say what we spoke about, but he was talking about this really big rope dart projects he wants to do. And I was all for it. And so was Sarah, who was in the meeting. It was like, wow, that's going to in a lot of ways revolutionize and update a certain aspect of rope dart or rope dart accessibility is maybe a better word. So, I guess I always enjoy hearing, those really big picture ideas when it comes to what folks want to do with a rope dart.
Well, I guess to extend on that a little bit more, um, I just want to travel and visit people. That's my main aspiration with my rope dart. It all started in I think in 22. I messaged you in December and said, "Hey mate, I want to come to America and travel around and visit a whole heap of rope dartists, and you're on the list. Can we make this happen?" And you were like, "Yes, come stay at Dart House. You can start your journey here. You can go from there." And that was the best thing I've done for myself with rope dart was reaching out to other dartists. They always say don't ever meet your idols. I don't believe that, man. Like I looked up to you for so many years when I first started doing rope dart, and I still do. And I met you, and you're like one of my best friends now. So, you know, I want more of that. I want to go to France and rope dart with Olivia. I want to go to the Netherlands and rope dart with Joost. I want to just go to every country that's got a rope dartist and rope dart with those people. There's people out there that travel the world and say, I've eaten macas in 37 different countries. No, I want to be able to go around and say, I've done rope dart in over like 50 different countries.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was getting at. Very good. I knew it was in there somewhere. That's that's amazing. That's so cool, man. Um, yeah, I tell you, I'd love for a lot of those daughters. You had mentioned Olivia and Yus, but I think it's pronounced Yorst. I don't it's from Yust, Yorst, Borst.
Well, you're gonna have to do an interview with him now.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to that guy. He's so cool. Um, But I would love for all these guys to come to Dart Arts. I mean, it really is I know it's far. And listen, while we're talking, it's far for anybody watching that's ever, especially in America, because a lot of times people, oh, I can't go to Dart Arts, it's too far, and it's like two states over. This man we're talking to right now, he came from Australia. Like it does twice, Dart Arts once, but it doesn't get much more. Oh, pardon me, Dart Arts twice. I mean, what the heck am I talking about? It doesn't get much further away than that. So,
And you got
no,
people jumping from Canada and coming over as well.
say that again.
You had people coming from Canada to Dart Arts last year as well. So people are
Yeah.
jumping the border and jumping the pond and coming in.
Absolutely. And we have Dart Arts coming as far. Look, Dart Arts is in upstate New York. Listen, Dart Arts is like a 5, 6 hour drive for us. And which I know is like a luxury when you're coming from Australia. But we also have Dartists coming from California. And I just spoke to this great Dartist out in the Portland area, Sean Connell, and him and son me and another one of their friends is going to be coming out to Dart Art. So we got Oregon in the house. That's amazing. So look, if you're watching this, listening, what have you, and you're on the fence about coming to Dart Arts, look, we got a heck. I'm not going to talk about the instructor lineup now because we got some real special goodies. But if you're on the fence, this is your push over. Come to Dart Arts. You will grow as a rope artist in a way that, right, Aaron? Like, how much did you
Yeah.
learn?
I mean, I'm not going to go on the sales pitch for it and say all the different stuff you can get and all that, but realistically, it was the one place I truly felt at home with everybody around me. It's like I can go to other festivals and I feel comfortable. I've got my friends nearby and stuff like that. I see a lot of other talented people doing much other props and stuff. But when it came down to it, being at Dart Arts, it's like you just walk out of your cabin in the morning and you look at the beautiful nature around you, and there's just people scattered around doing rope dart, and you're just like, man, like, did I die and go to heaven? Because that's honestly what it feels like. I wish every day could be like that.
Yeah, I mean, it is the ultimate rope dart experience, and that's what you say about it, but it does certainly feel that way because it's this blending of this mastermind of rope darters. So it's just by very nature that we have the level of rope darters that we have there, and as well as beginners. It takes everybody. It's not like, don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. Just the overall everybody's energy coming together and focusing like a laser beam on this one thing, being the rope dart. I mean, you just stand there and you absorb the information. It's nuts how good you get after you leave dart arts. I mean, I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm putting
The
together
the
your.
energy I took away from Dart Arts, sorry, the energy I took away from that, because we left Dart Arts, I stayed in New York for about 2 more nights, I think, and then was straight on a plane back to Australia. I still had my Dart Arts energy for months after getting back. Like that's what I think, it was that energy that helped me keep making up new moves and putting out those tutorials.
I mean, maybe that is it because holy cow. Look, if you needed physical evidence, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He goes to Dart Arts, comes out of it, and it's just like you're getting the best tutorials. You're getting this amazing new tech. It's keeping the rope dart fresh. That's what I love about the rope dart. It's continually freshened up with something new because there's more and more minds coming together and adding their value to it. It's not a limiting thing. It's just the thing is, we're preaching to the choir. Everybody listening is probably a rope
Yep.
dartist. It's like we need the folks that don't rope dart to know what a rope dart is.
That's it. I'm trying to convince my juggling friends on the West Coast to come to Dart Arts this year. Like, you
Uh,
can bring your clubs, just bring a rope dart as well.
yeah, I mean, you can, for everybody listening, you could bring any prop or weapon that you like to spin or play with that you like. It's just there's only going to be rope dart classes, and it's a rope dart focused, rope dart centered event. All the games are rope dart related. But if you want to come learn some rope dart and then spin dragon staff in the fire circle with all your homies, like you're more than welcome, and we would love for you to come. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not, you can spin anything you want. Come and have a good time.
Oh, definitely. When it comes to the fire circle at night, the more variety of props in the fire circle, the better, because it means we've all got stuff to watch. But it's
Well,
just so nice seeing that the rope dart isn't drowned out up the back behind everyone else.
I mean, I wouldn't think that the rope dart could ever get drowned out at dart arts. I mean, it's again,
Exactly.
it is. Look, come have fun, bring whatever you like to play with, but it's certainly a rope dart centered event, and
Yeah.
that's a great thing. So you're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I love the event so much I got it tattooed on my leg.
Yeah, I saw. Listen, that I tell you that logo that I believe Katrina Kingfisher came up with that logo is just
Yep.
absolutely nuts, guys. And by the way, you can still donate to Dart Arts. We're still taking donations. You can buy a shirt. As I mentioned, Katrina Kingfisher designed the logo. She also designed some really cool merch for Dart Arts. You could pick that up, and money from those sales also goes to Dart Arts. It is a completely community funded, 100% volunteer based event. So, any assistance, any support is always appreciated just to keep it going, to keep spreading the love. And, we see the ramifications and the impact is we get these great tutorials from guys like Aaron because of just this rope dart mastermind that happens in upstate New York every year. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It's great.
Well, we're coming up on about an hour, so I don't want to take it. You have probably a beautiful day in Australia. I don't know. It usually looks like it's sunny out.
Yeah. Yep. The sun's out at the moment.
Very nice. So I'm going to let you go, but I want to say this was awesome. It's always wonderful seeing you and talking to you. I'm used to you here and we're on my couch, just talking and having this kind of a conversation. So hopefully, not even hopefully, certainly, I know we'll do that again real soon.
We will be. Yep.
Sure. Now, before I let you go, I want to ask you one question, and that is if you could spend one weekend, say Friday through Sunday, training with any one roped artist on the planet, who would it be? And again, I know it's a very different, there's 100 of them, and it's like, of
It
course,
is tough.
it's a
It
hard
is really
question.
tough.
So,
Um, God damn. I don't know whether to go back to the people I used to watch at the beginning, that I still haven't met yet, or whether just to go the the gold card that I think. Look, I'm going to give you two answers.
no, no,
One,
nope, 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 whoa, 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 nope, nope.
okay,
The rules
alrighty,
are one. I want to
one.
know one. That's what makes it difficult. Two is easy, anybody can do two. One is
Okay,
difficult.
then I want to hang out with Duncan. Duncan Turan.
Dude, heck yeah. And I tell you, as somebody that has hung out with him and has rope darted with him, it's an absolute fucking blast. He's amazing, that guy. He's amazing.
Duncan's the man.
He's awesome. Maybe in your travels, you could stop down, and I think he's in Mississippi or Louisiana, somewhere down there. But
I know he's in the South, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think he's Mississippi, but I'm not 100% sure. Wow, Duncan. That's a great answer. Absolutely. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I used to love watching a lot of the stuff he did when I first started. He was definitely an inspiration for a lot of the things I did in the beginning. So yeah, I'd love to go hang out with him.
Nice. And then you can say, been there, dunk that.
Hey,
Buzzing. I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize. I just
never. All
see on that note, I need a nap, maybe. I don't know. So
right.
it was an honor and a privilege and pleasure as always to hang out with you. And we'll be talking a lot because we have Dart Arts coming, so I'm sure we'll just be brainstorming some ideas and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to having you come back again, mate.
Excellent. I can't wait to see everyone again when I'm back this year. Looking forward to
Definitely.
it.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk soon.
We will.
All right,
Thank you very
brother.
much.
Yeah,
Dart life.
absolutely. Peace out, my brother.
Peace.
Peace. Dart life.
Dart life.